Hello, people, and welcome to the first ever Big Steve Spit Bucket podcast. Now, everybody knows me as Big Steve, the Man City fan, football, blah, 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 blah. But not many people know that I'm a big boxing fan. So I decided that this once monthly podcast, I'm going to bring people on in the game who I know, ex-boxers, pro boxers, amateur boxers, people like that, just to talk about boxing. And I'm very, very pleased to welcome my good friend and professional boxer, Josh Frankham. How are you doing, pal?
Good, thank you, Steve. Good. Thank you for having me on. How you been, mate? All right?
Yeah, what's this new haircut, mate? I've never seen this. Have you been to prison or something?
Do you know what it was? Yeah. I was getting sick of it every day, coming out of the gym, drawing it, and I thought, fuck it, get rid of it. I do it once a year anyway, so it was due. So I got rid of it.
Yeah, listen, eggshell blonde, mate, like me. Eggshell blonde, you know what I mean?
I'm getting mixed reviews at the minute. And my mum and dad hate it. My bird says it's all right. My trainer said, cool, it suits you. So I'm getting mixed reviews.
To be honest, mate, you're looking a bit tougher. I always think the short hair makes people look a bit meaner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Fun, yeah.
You definitely look weathered now. You look like you've had an hard paper round.
That's it.
Listen, mate, thanks for coming on at short notice and that. Obviously,
thank you for having me on. Thank you.
You're a busy man, training and stuff. Yeah, so listen, the Frankham name, it's a big name in boxing. You know what I mean? There's a lot of history attached to it. You travelling boys, you're all related. You know what I mean? The Gypsy King, good friend of yours.
Good mate of mine, done a business the other day. Did you watch him?
Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. I just, like I say, we're going to touch on Tyson, but what can you say about that, mate?
And you know what? I said to him the next day, I said, listen, that wasn't even a fraction of your best. That wasn't even him. That was probably him at like, you seen him there at probably like 60%. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Frightening.
And what he can do. And if he done that at 60% to Deontay Wilder, what could he do at 100%?
And the thing is, with his build-up as well, not a lot of people know, his build-up to the fight wasn't the best. His baby was poorly.
Yeah.
I think he was he like running around the hospital grounds at one point just to get runs in and stuff?
Just to get fit, just go and running. He had COVID, you know what I mean? COVID a few weeks, well, I think it was a month before, but listen, that can stick with you. Some people it's affecting long term. So, you know what I mean? He had his little girl. Thank God she's all right now. COVID. Yeah. He never had the best of run-ups.
Do you know what, though, as well? With all the bullshit that Deontay Wilder was coming out with before that fight, about the gloves, about the suit, about his water being tampered, and all what, you know what, Tyson could have had any excuse. But do you know what? He just went in there and he just battered him. Just battered him. He didn't, we both know, you know more than me, that what he can box like. And he didn't do any of that. He just literally...
I tell you what you saw there. And I said this to my brother a couple of days ago. You saw Tyson from probably his first 10 fights. Didn't give a fuck what was coming back at him, excuse the French, and just got in there and laid him out. And that's what he used to do. You know what I mean?
It's a risky business against a man like Deontay Wilder to do that. But obviously Tyson, I think he got a bit personal with him. I think this Wilder got under his skin. Yeah. You know what I mean? You get beat off a fair... Yeah, you get beat off a fairer man, and you admit it. You don't make excuses about the suit. You don't make excuses about water. It's bullshit. And listen, there's no excuses now. The boxing world and the rest of the world seen what Tyson Fury's about, and he smashed into bits. And he's gone now. Nowhere. Just he's history. Him
gone, and that's why I think Deontay didn't want to show him no respect because of that reason. I think Deontay actually believed in his own head that Tyson cheated, and I think after a couple of weeks back, he thought, well, he hasn't cheated in this fight. He's done me. He couldn't get over it. You know what I mean? That's why I think he didn't want to show Tyson no respect because he was that gutted. He genuinely believed, that idiot, that Tyson cheated.
And you know what, as well? I think Tyson, the way he conducted himself in all of the fights, I mean, even after the first one, when he was robbed, he could have kicked off. He could have caused a stink. He didn't. He went back to the drawing board. He said, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
He came back a lot heavier, hammered him. And then he's done it again. He's hammered him again. And listen, you know, Deontay Wilder, as a fighting man, I respect him as a boxer. Because
as a fighting man, you have to respect him.
Yeah. But as a man, not to realise when a better man has beat you and not to get up and say, you know what, fair play.
I don't respect you. You know, what's all that about? You get up, listen, you know what? He's been beat 3 times, really. Let's have it right, innit?
3 times, mate.
So you get up off your stool, then you would have just said, listen, thank you for the money you've made me. Thank you for everything. well done. You're the better man. That's it.
And listen, they both got out the ring safe. They both went home to the families.
That's the
and
most
they both,
important thing.
you know, got healthy bank balances out of it. But listen, in a fighting game, especially with you lads, the travelling lads,
Yeah.
you know, the way you grow up and the way you fight, if you get beat off a better man, you stand up, you shake his hand,
You
and
shake
that's
hands
it.
and that's it. And the story. But listen, you have to respect Deontay as a fighter, like we said, because the stick he took in that fight, and the still to go down in the third round and get up and produce that shot in the fourth was just. And he went down heavy in the third round, Deontay, didn't he? It was a big knockdown. So listen, you have to respect the man, and I think he beats every other heavyweight out there. Do you?
Yeah, he does. He does for me. I mean, if Anthony Joshua's, I'm no disrespect to AJ, you're going to get his fanboys coming on, but listen, he don't live with Deontay Wilder knocks him out, and Tyson Fury. Just keep AJ as far away from Tyson Fury as you possibly can.
It's no good. What's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point? That shot that Deontay landed on Tyson, I think he would have knocked probably anyone out. To be honest, it was unlucky. It was the Gypsy King in there, because anyone else, it would have just been, they'd have been out.
No, listen, and Tyson Fury's stock is rising. I mean, the rest of the world now is seeing what we all know, that he's a great man, and like you say, he's a great fighter. And I just think, look, he's probably got 2 or 3 more fights in him, cleans this division up, and then goes off into the sunset and does whatever he wants.
That's right. To be honest with you, I'd want to see him have one more and go, but
yeah, you said that to me, didn't you? Yeah,
it's the money in it. It's the money. I'd love to see him just have the Usyk fight and go and enjoy it. You know what I mean? But money talks, doesn't it, Steve?
Of course it does, Paul. And anyway, we're going to move on to yourself. You're 4-0 now.
4-0, yeah. Just hoping to confirm a next date before Christmas. One more before Christmas, that'd be nice. If not, we'll roll on to next year.
Yeah, you had the obviously. Did you have 27 or 30 amateur bouts?
I think it was. Do you know what? I've checked. It was 27. Then I think it was 30. I looked back on my card the other day, and I think it was 36 in the end.
And you didn't do bad, did you? Did you?
Didn't do bad. I lost 6 fights. I won 4 national titles. Boxed for England 4 times. Done all I could, to be honest. Meant to have my GB assessment. I didn't ever actually go for that. So I've done all right as an amateur. I've done quite good.
So, just from the outside point of view, people that don't know your story, how come you decided to turn pro? What made you jump into the paid ranks?
All my family are fighters, Steve. My dad was a boxer. My 2 uncles, one of my other cousins, Gypsy Johnny Frankham, light heavyweight British champion. So it's in our blood. And I was a little chubby kid. Walked in the gym. Dad didn't want to take me to the gym. Come back one day, I said to him, Dad, right, I've joined the club. He went, oh, that's good, son. Where are you playing? What position? Where are you playing at? I said, no, not a football club. I said, I'm joining a boxing club. He went, oh. He said, all right, it won't hurt you to do a bit of training, because I was fat anyway. And he said it was taking me, and I kept enjoying it, and then just carried on from there.
Brilliant.
So,
and you're at Wayne Batten's gym now. Is that Southampton way?
Wayne Batten's gym, Southampton. We've got a good little squad down there at the minute.
Levi Who's in there? I know Ryan Garner's in there. Levi.
Yeah. Mark Chamberlain. We're all undefeated at the minute, Steve, and we're all with Frank Ryan. And we're all looking to push on. And I think Ryan will probably look for a title towards the end of the year. And Mark the same. So we're all pushing on.
He's looking good, Ryan. I know Ryan, obviously, through different things, and he seems to have got his act together and that, and he's stepping it up now, and he's looking sharp.
Yeah, he is. He's looking the business now. He's had a couple of years out and back and forth, but now I think he's on it. And if that kid dedicates himself now, he can definitely be a world champion. Definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot said that. So, from you personally, have you noticed a big step up to the pro game from the amateurs?
It's all different, Steve. It's learning to settle your shots different, sitting down on your shots, rolling out. Amateur, that point scoring system is completely different. You know what I mean? And even making weight, it's completely different. It's a whole nother ball game. Like when you was in the amateurs going for a national championship, you'd have to make weight every week. We're boxing now, you know, I'll probably be 2 or 3 kilos over fight week, lose a weight, put it back on. It's all different. It's such And it's learning, you know what I mean? You're learning new things every day in the gym. So it's a complete different ballgame. But I do like the professional better. So it's a lot better.
Because I remember when you
stopping you. I just found a picture. This was me. This was just as I was losing the weight.
Wow.
Little fat.
Yeah, little tubby. That I can't even believe that's you, man. I cannot believe that is you.
That's just a true story. I've got them exact shorts in my cupboard now, and they don't fit me.
They probably fit me then.
Still don't fit me. So that was me stopping you.
No, mate. It was. I remember you making your debut against Kevin McCauley. He's a tough kid, and I remember speaking to you after it, and you was a little bit hard on yourself. And that's what I thought. That's probably the difference. I think a lot of people's they expect you to just go in there, but you didn't take an easy fight. I mean, he was tough. He was tough, and I thought you boxed really well. Every time I've watched you box, and you know me, I'll tell you the truth. If I think something's wrong, I tell you the truth. We chat all the time about boxing. And I think you've done really well, and I really think that I think you needed that stoppage in the last fight.
Yeah,
I think that was a bit of a weight off your shoulders now.
Yeah,
and like you say, I think
confidence booster. Listen,
yeah, of course. I mean, you box well. I think you box well. Your kid rings me up and says, "How do you reckon you box?" I say, "I think you box superb. I think you're picking your shots well.
Yeah.
I think you're still growing into your body, like you say. Your strength is coming, and I just think you just got to keep doing the path you're on with the trainer you're on and the gym you're in. I think you can't be anywhere better at the minute. You know what I mean?
No, listen, this Tyson said it to me, and it's the truest thing in boxing. This game, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And takes time, Steve. You know what I mean? Takes time. Hopefully we'll get another 4 or 5 fights in next year. And then within the next 18 months, start pushing for some titles.
Yeah, unbelievable. And just speaking with Tyson, we touched on him before.
Yeah.
You've trained with him a few times. You've been in the States with him. I mean, what's it like getting that level of experience? Because, I mean, people can only dream of it. So to be around him, I mean, I've been around him a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm in awe of the guy. I mean, he's got that about him. But you must be, watching him train, you must be like, and you've trained with Pacquiao.
Yeah. Manny Pacquiao. I've done a lot.
Freddie Roach's gym, was you out there for a bit?
I was out there. I've done a run with Pacquiao. Never actually got to train with him, like as in boxing, but went running with him. It's Billy Joe Saunders, another great fighter.
Fantastic.
I've been in the gym with a lot of good people, but just being in with Tyson, I was with him on his comeback just before he was about 28 stone. He was out in Marbella. And I've been in the gym with him since, obviously, but that's when I realised he could do the things he was doing at 28 stone, Steve, like the speed, the quickness, even of his feet. You know what I mean? He boom, 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 and off at an angle at 28 stone. I was looking at, I couldn't believe it. Just to be in with him is what's the word? You can't buy that experience.
No.
You know what I mean? To be around people like that. He's probably one of the greatest heavyweights of this era, maybe of all time. So I'm forever thankful to Tyson for giving me that opportunity.
You've definitely got good people around you anyway, and like you say, you've got good people you can call on. And I mean, we went to Morecambe to see Tyson, and you did a tiny session with Sugar Hill, and you told me it was impressive.
Well, listen, it was probably 10, 15 minutes on the pads, and within that 10 minutes, I learned 2 or 3 things, picked them up like really quick, and we were moving on and progressing with the pads, and it lasted, like I say, 15 minutes. But the things I learned in that 15 minutes was unbelievable. So you imagine going out and doing camps with Sugar Hill and people like that for like 2 and 3 months, how much you learn. You know what I mean? That's what this game is. You never stop learning. So, listen, I'm only a baby in boxing terms at the minute, but I'm sure I'll get more opportunities to go out and learn new things.
So what's the steps you see yourself going? Do you see yourself going for an English title and then a British title and a European and trying to build up like that? Or will you just take anything that comes at you?
Listen, any title would be nice. The British title is it's important in my family because Uncle John won it back in I think it was 1975. I think now, and it's one of the best belts in English in boxing you can win, I believe.
Oh, it's a beautiful belt. It's a beautiful belt.
So I'd love the British title, but I'd love to go on and win world honours and be the best you can be. But
it's a few Frankhams now coming on the scene, so it's a bit of a race to see who's going to get that British belt, isn't it?
Who will get to the British title first? But listen, like I said, Steve, it's baby steps. Whatever title comes along, we'll pick up. I'll probably be some international titles first, but my goal at the minute's that British, and then go from there.
And at the minute, you're boxing at welterweight. It's a tough division.
Very tough.
Do you see yourself staying there, or do you think, are you struggling to get to the weight every now and then, or are you going to move up, or what?
No, I think I'm going to stay at
well. Down.
No, I'm going to stay at well. I've made a little bit above welter at the minute, and I was making that comfortable. Still growing, obviously. So we'll see we'll see where we are. But I should be here for a couple of years. Welterweight, maybe a few years.
You look strong. You look strong at the weight. To be fair, every time I've seen you, you've looked strong. So no, I agree with you. Stay there. I mean, who's British champion at welter now? Is it what's he called? Is it Antwi? No, English title's Antwi, isn't it?
The British champion in welterweight is Echo Usman. He's a good fighter.
He is a good fighter.
Very good fighter. I made my debut, and he was the fight after me. I think it was. I had a chat to him. He was a nice fellow as well. But he's British champion at the minute. So we'll see, won't we? We'll see.
So hopefully you're going to get out. Well, it's tough, innit, at the minute, getting boxers on shows because of the COVID thing. A lot of fighters haven't had any experience. So to get on any show at the minute is privilege, innit?
Listen, I've been thankful because I got out 4 times in lockdown. You know what I mean? So I'm very thankful, and I was one of the busiest fighters in lockdown. But I'd love to get out again before Christmas time. If I don't, I don't. We'll just keep chipping away in the gym, keep training. But with a bit of luck, I should have some news in the next couple of days.
No, that'd be good, mate. That'd be good.
Yeah.
So we'll just touch a little bit on the football. I know, listen, I know you're a Reading fan.
Yeah.
But I know you also got a little soft spot for that other mob over the road from me, Ronaldo and that. So talk to me about that, because you and your kid was on me when Ronaldo signed and all that, and you know what I mean. It's not all rosy in the garden over there at the minute.
It's not at the minute. I've been seeing a few Ollie outs on trending on Twitter. I see something else as well. It was what did it say? It said United are the repeat of Chelsea at the minute.
Yeah,
they had the squad. Had the perfect squad, but they just had Lampard who couldn't take them forward. And I think that's the same sort of thing we're seeing at United. They got the squad, they just ain't got the right man to take them forward.
That's a fair point.
To be honest with you, Steve, I live literally 1 mile from Reading Stadium, Medeski. I was a season ticket holder. I love Reading. I was born here. I've lived here. I'm Reading through and through. But United, as you say, I've always had a soft spot for United. I met Sir Alex Ferguson. Well, my brother did as well. When he was probably like 11, 12. And then I met him. I was about 7 or 8 at the races, Doncaster races. Ever since then, he made my brother support United, and he made me sort of support United. How nice he was. He was he's a legend, Sir Alex. You know what I mean? He was so nice to us. Signed shirts for us, and just a lovely man. And he made me support United. So that's where I got a bit of a soft spot for United, just through Sir Alex. Whether the glory days have come back or not, I don't know. But
I mean, I say it all the time. You know, we're Blues, so we're happy that it's all going to shit over there. But to be honest, with that team and the players they've got, if they got someone in like Conte, Zidane, I think they takes United up a notch. And but the Solskjaer thing, he's a legend. But I think by the time he leaves United, I think his legacy is going to be tarnished.
I don't know who you go and get. Who do you get in? Who would you get in? You know what I mean?
Conte's available, isn't he?
Do you go for Conte? I don't know. Do you go for Zidane?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an hard one there.
It's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough.
Premier League. You need a Premier League proven manager, don't you? You know what I mean? Who knows what they're doing? I don't know who I'd get in. I really don't. Ollie's definitely. Ollie at the minute, he's not doing a job. You know what I mean? So
no.
I'd give him a couple more games and see how he gets on. If they got any balls, United, elbow him.
Yeah, get him out there. Get him out.
Got to get him out.
No, it's a nightmare, mate. And listen, have you got any plans to maybe head down to see Tyson at Morecambe or anywhere, or are you just going to stay up there for now?
I haven't spoken to him for about a week or so since he fight. Not plans at the minute. I'd like to get down there and see him if I could. We'll see if I get a date, boxing, which could be December the 3rd or 4th, I believe. I'll be in camp. I'll be training. But I'd like to see him before Christmas if I can. I'd like to get down, Got to get down to Manchester soon. Show me about.
Definitely, mate. 100%. There's another big fight coming up with a good friend of mine. Lyndon Arthur versus Anthony Yarde. First fight was mad. Lyndon gets the win. Jabs his head off with one arm.
Yeah. Yeah, you said that, didn't you? He had one arm, didn't he?
Yeah, he's hurt his arm, and like you say, this fight now, the rematch, it's in London. I'm hearing rumours Yarde, he didn't want to fight in Manchester, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He should have just went to Manchester, shouldn't he? You know what I mean? You've been beat. Just grow some balls and go and fight in a man's backyard. He's already fought in yours. You know what I mean? That's how it works, isn't it?
I'm going to put you on the spot, obviously. You know, say how it is. Who do you think wins this next fight? Do you think Yarde's learned his lesson and goes for him, or do you think Lyndon switches it up with the right hand as well, and you know, we end up having another same result?
I am sitting on the fence with this one because I don't know if like you say, if he beat him with one arm, how's Yarde gonna beat him if he got two arms? You know what I mean? And you've seen Lyndon's jab. Lyndon got one of the best jabs in the game.
Said that to you, didn't I, when I met? Yeah. I said that to you when we was at Tyson's. I said that. I mean, to be fair, Tyson did think Lyndon was going to do him. I think Tommy said Yarde would beat him. That was the first fight. But like you say, Lyndon for me, he's a good friend of mine. I'm going to get him on this next podcast if I can. Yep. He's just he's very laid back, and sometimes
he's chilled, isn't he? He's chilled.
I want him to get a bit more fire in the tanks and start a bit faster and go for it. But he's just, I think that's just the way he is.
It's just the way he is. He's very laid back. I saw him when he fought, I think it was his last fight at the Royal Albert, and I know he was making weight on whatever, but he's just chilled. He's a lovely fellow. He's chilled. He's laid back, and that's what his style's like as well. He just starts slow off that jab, but what jab he got.
And Pat Barrett is one of the best trainers about at the minute, and Pat really, I think, likes the underdog bit. So when he beat Yarde first time, I think Pat as well, because he got one over on his trainer. Sunday and that with the lions in the camp and all that shit. So I think Pat's relishing this again, and I think the whole of Manchester's behind it. We knew what Lyndon was about. A lot of people outside the game or fair weather boxing fans were like, "Oh, Yarde this, Yarde that." We knew, you know what I mean. We knew what Lyndon's not.
You knew how good Lyndon was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do you reckon he'll take many down with him?
I think Lyndon's going to beat him. I think Lyndon is going to hurt him. I think he will. I don't think Yarde's got an answer for it. I think if Lyndon wants to go on the back foot, he'll jab his head off again. But I think Yarde's going to try and come and force it, and I think Lyndon will catch him with that right hand. And that right hand of Lyndon Arthur's is unbelievable.
He can punch, can't he? On the way in, maybe. Yeah, you don't know, do you?
That's what I can see happening.
And listen, they were saying, Yarde had him hurt, It was the last round. You know what I mean?
And Lyndon admit that. He said, yeah, he hurt me, but he didn't get me out of there.
No.
He had one hand. Didn't get him out of there.
One hand still couldn't. It's a good fight, and I'm looking forward to it. If I had to pick off right at this minute in time, I'd probably have to go with Lyndon. You know what I mean? I'd have to go with Lyndon.
I can't wait for it. I can't wait for the fight, to be honest.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good fight. I'm looking forward to that. You coming down for it?
Yeah, I'm coming down for it, yeah. So if you want to go, we'll go. Let's do it. If we can get there, we'll do it. But listen, mate, it's 20 minutes in. It's just been a nice, easy chat. It's great to speak to you. People that don't know about you, where can they find you on Instagram?
I'm on Instagram, at J_Frankham. I'm on Twitter, but I'm not the best with Twitter. I only use it for just to see what's happening in the world. I'm mainly on Instagram every day. Give me a follow, and thank you very much for your support.
No problem. And listen, people, thanks for supporting my channel. Thanks for coming on. This is the first little podcast. I hope you like it. It's just a different insight into Josh and what he's got coming up. And like, subscribe, share it, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much for having me on, Steve.
No problem, pal.